So you're probably wondering why I've been premiering so many old videos recently. So I'm just picking some up off the floor. Now, I've been going through all my videos because I was doing some I was doing a lot of recapping over my research over the last few years, and I keep stumbling across videos that are private, and I'm thinking, that's weird, I can't remember making that video private. Why did I make that video private? So I'll go and watch it, and I'm thinking, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with it. Why didn't I leave it public or unlisted? Because I'll explain why. I mean, what I normally do, if there's a video that's out of context, I mean, on its own, as a standalone video, anybody that searches for it and comes across it is going to have a whole bunch of questions like, what's this all about? What does it do? Oh, what are you building? All them sort of questions, and I'm thinking when I make some of these videos, oh, well, I don't want that. I just want to stick it in a playlist along with the other videos that came earlier. So the whole point is you watch the playlist and it's consecutively along, and you know what it's all about because you've watched the previous videos. But if you're watching a video standalone and it's on its own and it's kind of free floating and it doesn't make any sense to anyone that searches for a video and it just pops up and they think, what the hell is this all about? So what I do is I unlist some of the videos. I'll make them unlisted so they're not searchable, but I stick them in a playlist, right? It makes perfect sense. So you're watching the playlist and you come across that video and it's fine, no problem, no questions. People know what it's about. But then I come across this little thing that says, in the Google message thing, it says not part of the new security measures or something. I'm thinking, what the hell are you on about? Security measures? I unlisted it not because I didn't want anyone to see it. I unlisted it because I wanted it to be part of the playlist, right? So Google, if you're listening, what's the name of that AI? Oh, I don't even use it anyway. But basically, if there's a video that's unlisted, it's not because I don't want anyone to see it, and it's not because I want it to be made private. It's because I want it to be in context with other videos that came before it or come after, right? Do you understand? Does it make sense? You know, it doesn't make sense to me that you would make it private where no one can see it, because then the people who are watching the playlist, they're going to come across a big gap where the video says, this video is private, you cannot watch this content. And then they get to the next video and they're thinking, what the hell, what happened? You know, what did I miss? Do you see what I'm getting at? So by making a video private that's not really private, all you're doing is causing a big gap in people's information. And it's like you've taken a whole paragraph out of a story, basically. Yeah. So anyway, I've been uploading videos to my backup channel, which is basically a bit of a combination of archives, which some of which are actually already on my YouTube channel. I didn't realise until I went through them all, but they were private or not private, and yeah, it's getting crazy. So what I've had to do is I'm just basically republishing some of the old content that was archived onto the other YouTube channel. That way it's in one place and you can go through it, and if there's missing links or missing information about anything that I've done on this channel, you can hopefully find that missing information on the other channel, right? I don't want to upload it all onto this channel because it's out of sequence. It's the dates are all wrong. I mean, you talk about a 7 or 8 year old gap between when the original content was published and when this. So that's why I'm putting it on the old channel, because then you can. Yeah, I'm waffling now. So anyway, I have been coming up with some. I have been working on some new designs in my brain, in my noggle, but I haven't modelled it yet because I'm still working stuff out in my head. But just to give you a rough idea, I don't know if I can show you what I mean. I think the original... Oh, hang on. I'll just go and grab some. Hang on. Oh. Okay. So, in my earlier bubbleator experiments, there's a core from one of the inserts that go inside the magnetic rings, like like one of these, but that's a C6 and this is a C8. These had very low drag and very low lens effects. Now the problem what I was having at the time, that's a ball bearing that's cut in half. It's ground down so that part of it's flat, right? So that's partly, that's 3/4 of a ball bearing that's on this part here. Now when I was originally doing experiments with this by actuating it with a magnet, so the magnet comes past, right? The magnet goes past it, and some of the magnets on the outside were subtracted, some magnets were deflected, and then we'd have a coil further back, right? Now these are thick steel washers on here. Now when I was doing these original tests, I didn't have much output because it was so effective in blocking the lens, the lens effects that we wanted to get through to generate the power, that it didn't have much of an output. But I came to I've been coming to working out something where instead of having thick steel washers, we basically have a steel band, a thin steel wrap going around that shorts the lens out that we don't want, but allows, when it's been biased, most of the flux can travel straight through this ball bearing on the back side to generate the power. But as soon as the magnets past a certain point, as soon as it gets to a certain point, the field is in equilibrium because it's between the middle section, the middle core, if you like, between the middle core section and the outside core of the bobbin on the other side of the coil. So when you get past a certain point, that's where the lens can no longer travel back to affect the rotor, the speed of the rotor traveling through. So we have these. So what I'm looking at is using a similar design to my early design, which, like this one, only instead of these thick steel washers, we have a thin band of nickel steel across the path where the lens normally passes through and it influences the magnet. So I'm working on something like that at the moment in my mind, because I'm thinking about modelling something that's similar to what I previously did, but will be more efficient and have a much higher output. But I'm going to be building a much smaller version, so I can't use this or this size because it will be very small, a lot smaller. In fact, it'll be so small that I'll be using, let's see if I can show you this battery tabbing I've got in here. So I would use some of this thin steel material, right? Where's the end? Oh, it's there. Right, so I'd use some of this thin stuff so that we don't block too much of the power output generated. So anyway, but I'm not going to rush into designing it yet because there's so many other things I'm thinking about. Oh, I should have put that back in here, shouldn't I? Oops. So anyway, I'm a little bit baffled. So I started this YouTube channel because I was a bit annoyed because I was looking for all my videos and a whole bunch of videos were private, and I'm thinking, why did I make them private? So I've made some of them unlisted, and it's showing up on my YouTube channel as latest published content, but this stuff is from like 6-7 years ago or longer. No, probably between 5 and 7 years, most of it. So it's showing all this content that I've just republished, but it was already published, and it's not me that hid it or made it private. It was Google. They did it. So I don't know. Just doesn't make sense to me at all, because all it does is create this huge gap in people's understanding and be able to follow something. So yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. I mean, if you unlist something, it's not necessarily because you want it private. If you wanted it private, you would make it private. Come on, Google, get your act together. Alright. So, oh yeah, I've got a load of videos, old archive stuff that's going to be published on my other channel in a few days. I'll schedule it for one a day because I don't want to overwhelm anyone. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry to be a pest.